The Champions League returns in 2 days' time on Valentine's Day. Boys will spend their time chasing around girls, giving chocolates and flowers, while real men will spend their time looking into their Champions League fantasy team, eagerly awaiting Club Brugge versus Benfica. Today, I'm going to be going through my Champions League fantasy team for the round of 16. If you do enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like. I would appreciate that a lot. And if you are new to the channel, I'd really appreciate it if you could subscribe. And if you really want to support the channel just that extra little bit, feel free to become a channel member. Right, so getting straight into it, I have a team, but I'm going to get rid of everyone because I have free transfers, so it's absolutely beautiful. Getting rid of all of these. Half my players have been knocked out. Somehow we have more money than we're supposed to have. I'm a little bit confused on that. In goals, and you know what? I'm gonna keep Simon Mignolet. He was absolutely brilliant in the group stage. He's relatively cheap. He's playing Benfica in the knockout stages, so I don't expect him to concede 17 goals. I'm gonna throw Fraser Foster as my backup goalkeeper, just in case he has a good game versus AC Milan as Hugo Lloris is injured. João Cancelo wasn't my original team. He has moved clubs since the group stages. He's now a Bayern Munich player, but he's gotten a few assists already, and he's only played a couple games, so you might as well throw him in there. He's playing PSG, so it will be a difficult enough game, but I would fancy him to do at least a little bit well. One of my main rules for this entire thing is no Liverpool players. Even as a Liverpool fan myself, I just can't trust my team anymore. Putting in Romero in this team I think would be smart, considering AC Milan have struggled to score in the last couple of weeks. They're in really bad form. They can't score a goal at all. I'd fancy Spurs to go through in that tie. Romero will keep a clean sheet and get me a few extra points. I'm going to put Grimaldo into the team as well. If Benfica do well, Grimaldo gets points. If Club Brugge do well, Mignolet gets points. It's kind of a win-win scenario. Hopefully it'll be a 0-0 draw.
This was the no-brainer. This was the banker. This was the one that couldn't fail. This was one that's never failed.
I'm also going to throw Di Lorenzo in the team because, well, Napoli are in incredible form. Frankfurt should be a relatively comfortable game for them. I expect them to go to the quarterfinals. I'm going to recover Gvardiol. He's only 4.6 million. He'll start the game. I know he's playing Man City, but he's really only for the bench. On to midfield now, and, well, my Premier League fantasy has taught me not to trust Mo Salah. Watch him score a few goals versus Real Madrid, but typically in recent years, he's definitely gone missing versus Madrid. Jude Bellingham returns to England, and you know what? I fancy him to do something. Versus Chelsea, who have been terrible this season. Really bet against Chelsea and Liverpool, and you're probably going to end up getting a few points. I'm going to throw Barea in this team as well. Porto should be a relatively comfy game for Inter Milan. I'm also going to throw Kevin De Bruyne because, well, he has Erling Haaland up front, so it's guaranteed assists.
Let me talk! Let me talk!
Anguissa is quite cheap and he's already gotten some points, so I'm going to throw him in as well, and I'm going to get one more player for the bench. I'm going to throw in Thiago. I'm probably going to have him on my bench, but look, gotta get one Liverpool player in there at least. No real doubt about it, Erling Haaland is getting recovered.
I feel very good.
He's playing versus a relatively decent RB Leipzig side, but you would still expect Haaland to score a couple of goals. Another Napoli player now, and he hasn't had the best of time in the Champions League, but he's been scoring for fun in Serie A. Their top scorer for only 7.9 million versus Frankfurt. You'd fancy him to score a few. Both Messi and Mbappe are both doubts for these games, so I'm not going to throw them in my team. I'm going to put the reliance on a PSG player, and I'm going to put it on Neymar. I fancy him to show up in this game versus Bayern Munich. I'd fancy PSG to go through. I have a bit of money left over, so I'm going to swap out Thiago for Vinicius Jr. He always seems to score versus Liverpool, so even if my club do lose, I'll at least get the benefit of Vinicius Jr. getting me some points, though I won't really be happy. So those are all my transfers. Most of my players were knocked out of the Champions League anyway, and it's not like Scott Carson was getting me much points, was it? So that's how my team is looking. Hopefully it does a little bit decent. We kept a few of our players. I think that front line is definitely going to get me some points. If you haven't already, feel free to join my fantasy team. I am one of the bottom players. I'm that bad at fantasy, but that's the code there. Just enter that in and it'll be fine, and I'll leave the link in the description. Thank you all so much for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you are new. If you really want to support the channel, feel free to become a channel member, and I'll see you in the next one.